Mark Vance was a writer for the Sun-Times in 1984 when he first met Michael Jordan. Since then, they've written 4 books together. In his new book, he talks about the Jordan year, or what's supposed to be the best year of your life.
That would be the year one celebrates his or her 23rd birthday, because 23 was, of course, Michael Jordan's number. The new book is called The Last Excellent Man, The Meaning of Our Jordan Year. Mark joins us now. Thanks for being with us.
Hey, Mark.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Gosh, I'm just trying to think what I was doing at 23. And you're not specifically talking about all these great people peaking at that age, but it is worth a jumping off point to talk about what makes someone exceptional.
Yeah. I mean, what the book is really about is excellence.
Yeah.
And so, what's the difference? I mean, one of the things I sort of came to this idea through was all the video, all the books, all the writing, and no one's answered why him. Mm-hmm. Why did he become this guy?
Because he wasn't a prodigy. I mean, like the famous story that he didn't make his high school team, right, or whatever the case may be. But you don't see and you don't hear what Michael Jordan did to get that way. Was he taking 100 shots from the corner? Like, what did he do that other NBA players weren't doing?
I think it's something different than doing.
Okay.
It's being. And so he was connected, like Taylor Swift, like Mario Andretti, these other people I talk about in the book. He's connected to his specific essence. He knew something about himself that nobody around him knew.
So is it confidence?
It's more than that. I think I think these people connect with the universal energy, is a simple way to put it. Some people say they connect with the God within, not in a religious way, but that sort of concept. And I think that is what defines him.
But that's all meaningless if you can't hit a 25-foot jump shot and blow by guys, right? I mean...
Right, but I didn't have that in me.
Yeah.
And I couldn't do those things. And so
but a lot of guys do and never reach Michael Jordan status. Yeah.
Because it takes the work as well.
Yeah.
So most people, if they have especially a physical desire to do something, you hit plateaus. And a lot of people don't ever get off the first, second, or third plateau because it's too psychologically damaging. You don't know if you'll ever get off.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Taylor Swift. She's coming off of that huge Eras tour, and she's had many different incarnations of herself, and she's learned how to pivot. What has she done that other singers haven't been able to do?
Again, I think it's the gift of these people is their presence in any moment. So the famous story of her, she was 10 years old and told her parents, she made a demo of karaoke songs, put them on CDs, and her mother and her flew to Nashville, and she went to Music Row and dropped off a little note in her CD, "Hi, I'm Taylor, and I want a record deal. Call me." And so she didn't know how to play guitar. She's 10 years old.
Yeah.
4 years later, she's Taylor Swift.
Wow.
It's something else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What's interesting about her is, she has really made a name for herself being nice, where she didn't have to wear the meat dress or roll around half naked on the stage like Madonna, right? I mean,
Right.
does that play a part in any of this? That she did something different than what everybody else was doing?
Yeah, I don't think the people who, like the people I named,
Yeah.
had pandered in any way
Yeah.
to get attention.
Right.
They just performed. What they were doing was so intimate
Yeah.
that we all got attracted to it.
And so speaking of singers, you also mentioned Johnny Cash, Bob Dylan, Beyonce. Is there anything specific that any of those people in particular did that you're like, oh, that's something different?
Dylan.
Really? What did he do?
Well, so he was writing, he grew up in Hibbing, Minnesota on the Iron Range. And he was writing poetry. And when he graduates from high school, gets in a car with somebody because they were going to New York, changed his name, got to New York, and just wandered around the coffee house culture, which was full of music at the time, and he becomes Bob Dylan. But he always knew he was Bob Dylan, in my view.
Yeah, it seems like these people they're all in from the beginning.
Yeah.
There's no plan B.
Right, right, exactly. Yeah, and the ones that get to the heights don't need one.
Yeah.
You know, it's so pure. It's such a pure connection with the power of the universe.
Let me, because you still talk to Michael Jordan. I know he's doing other things and he's got a lot of money.
Yeah.
But is it hard when you have been the guy at the top of the world 10 years go by, 20 years, you're not.
I think it would be for us, but those people, it's not.
Yeah.
I mean, he's as happy as you could possibly hope for him to be.
There's no void or that he feels.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't talked about that, but it doesn't seem like it.
Yeah.
You know, plays golf at his own club and
Right.
flies his own plane. And
Why did he connect to you? I'm sure everybody's out with their hand out to him, right? Why did he get along with you or thought you were the guy that he could trust?
I don't actually know. I mean, I didn't take it easy on him when I was writing because I was conscious
Yeah.
of not being
Right.
yet another
Right.
fan.
Right.
And I think, you know, we never talked about it, but we connected as friends early. We were both young, and the team was awful. and full of a lot of drugs in those days.
You were talking to him in the early days before the Bulls became the Bulls. So, yeah.
Yeah, I started covering them the day he arrived.
Wow.
So,
Did you say there were a lot of drugs in those days? Is that what you're
lots
talking?
of drugs in those days.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think people are aware of that part of it.
Yeah, he wasn't one
Right.
of them. But this is, there was
It
a
was
lot.
the 80s.
You see-
It was the 80s, exactly. Yeah, if we were on Wall Street, we would say the same thing.
Yeah, well, the book is The Last Excellent Man, The Meaning of Our Jordan Year. For more, you can check out Mark's website. Follow Rare Air Media on X. Thanks. Good to see you, Mark.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks.